Welcome.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How about that new intro? I'm
I
loving that.
like it. I like it.
Probably need to leave up the wow a little bit longer, but that's okay. This is all we're work in progress. Hey
That's
guys,
right.
I'm
We're
Dr.
on a learning curve.
Yes. I'm Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. Welcome to this week's WOW podcast and my darling friend,
Wendy Flournoy. Hi, guys. How are y'all doing?
For those who don't know us, because we know that this is just episode 4 and we are making our way through this fun world of podcasting. I am a retired ER and trauma nurse, holistic nutrition specialist, advanced medical practitioner, PhD in integrative medicine, and love all things natural. And the most important thing is I'm a Jesus loving girl.
That's right.
Mom, Gigi, wife, all the things. And Wendy, who are you?
I'm Wendy Flournoy, also a Jesus loving girl, wife, mom, Gigi. My favorite part is the Gigi. Certified hypnotherapist, an herbal enthusiast, and forager, and probably soon to be a teacher of all things of those.
Yes. You absolutely should be. So we, even though it doesn't appear so, because we had a recorded podcast last week, we have not done this for 2 weeks because we had to do the pre-recorded one because I was in Tennessee loving on my grandbabies for my grandson's first birthday, which was such a blessing. So in the process of all that, if you hear I'm a little nasally, which I'll explain a little bit more in depth, not that anybody wants to hear all
toddlers and weather change.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, my husband got it. Our grandson had a double ear infection, all the things. I never catch anything, but guess what? I'm doing this detox, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. So, anyway, it is cold and flu season. It is the time of year when people end up getting all nasally. So forgive me for sounding like this, but I can't wait to share. It sparked a really exciting podcast that we're going to be sharing, real exciting episode that we're going to be sharing with you all today, all about immune boosting, how to naturally heal from cold and flu symptoms, and all the things. We have so much that we want to share with you, and Wendy and I never are lacking for topics. So this one just presented itself in perfect timing.
Well, it is a great time because now is a time to also get yourself prepared with some of these things for when it hits your house, because it's not, most of the time, most of us are gonna have some kind of sniffle or scratchy throat or something when the weather changes during the winter season and things like that. So make yourself prepared and ready.
Yeah. And I mean, school's back in session. I already have a lot of friends who are telling me their kids, made it to 2 days of school and now they're already homesick. So I mean, it's definitely hitting us. So it's really interesting because I honestly never get sick. And my cockiness in this fact is why I am now. I've been sharing that I've been doing this detox, which has been going fantastic. I'm 2.5 weeks in,
Nice.
down 7.5 pounds of inflammation.
Nice.
This is after eating well. This is what stress can do to your body. And I know that's what it was because wrapping up my PhD, going through the whole dissertation process, my husband having surgery and being out of work, it was just one thing after another, boom, boom, boom for months. And so, stress was a real thing in my life. And when I shared a couple weeks ago, I did my own inflammation assessment on myself to see how I scored. Wow, that was off the charts.
Yeah.
And I always pride myself on, how healthy I am at years old and feel great, but I didn't feel right. And so I have been very intentionally eating healing foods. I've been doing a whole lot of raw stuff, smoothies and salads have been pretty much my staple. I've had some cooked things too. But it's really been a wonderful journey of just getting this inflammation down. And I'll share tidbits of that. There's so much I'm
Mhm.
doing right now. It would be overwhelming to share this with you.
Right.
Something that I probably wouldn't go to this degree with a client unless they were ready. I mean, just to go all gangbusters.
Right.
But that being said, what happens sometimes when you are in detox is you go through what's called a healing crisis. I never even considered that that would happen to me because I am so healthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought. I would have thought of I don't know. I guess more people would probably get a whole lot sicker than what you've gotten.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, one of the worst healing crises I was ever made aware of. Well, I had to live with him, and he was whiny man at the time. Sorry, honey. But when I first years ago, when I first got Bill off of processed foods,
Yeah.
when I was teaching him, when we were first together, and I was teaching him about how detrimental it was to his rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
And I remember it. We went out to supper for New Year's Eve, and he said, "All right, January 1st, I'm all in." Well, let me tell you something. He was all in, and by January 3rd, he was sick as a dog.
Yep.
His body was freaking out because he all of a sudden,
Just
stopped
stop.
eating all of this garbage that his body was, all these toxins that his body was holding on to.
Yeah,
It's
when you start pulling that stuff out,
yeah.
it's enough to make you sick.
It is. It is. It's really fascinating, and it happens in a large number of people going through detoxes. But like you said, it's usually somebody who really has a long history of not eating well, or
Yeah.
usually my clients that go through it are people that come to me that are heavy soda drinkers. Go out to McDonald's all the time. Really big
Yeah.
processed food people, and then they don't feel good in the first week, and that's usually why.
Yeah.
But I mean, I ended up, I, so typically what you should do, that the doctor did not follow her own advice, is you should be loading up on high dose vitamin C, which I'll talk more in detail about what that means in a minute. But you should be loading up on, all the immune boosting things. I was eating well, which is a big immune boosting thing to do. But I wasn't loading up on my high dose vitamin C like I typically do. I wasn't taking my zinc. I wasn't doing all the things because I just never even thought that I would experience a healing crisis.
Yeah, because
And
you weren't feeling bad. So why
yeah,
do it?
yeah. So I did, and the second I was around anybody with any kind of sniffles, that was it for me. And I ended up just one day bad. The rest has just been, the stuffy nose, the occasional cough, that kind of thing. But one day I had fever. I was at my daughter's house and took a nap in 97 degrees on her back porch, on her
Oh, wow.
sofa, because I was freezing in the house, and the house was
Wow.
normal AC.
Yeah.
And it was like an hour and a half. I just laid out there in the sun and just took a nap, and it actually helped me feel a lot better. But I was freezing, and so I never took my temperature. I don't do all that stuff, and
And you don't normally take naps either.
no, I don't. No, I don't. That was a big wow right there. So anyway, I ended up immediately, as a matter of fact, of all people, the first person to hand me my vitamin C was Bill, my husband. Usually
Nice.
it's me shoving it in him. I'm like, especially because as much as he's had to go through, I'm always pushing vitamin C on him. I'm like,
Yep.
baby, we got to load you up. We got to load you up. We got to load you up. Well, I hadn't loaded myself up, so he did. So he was making sure. And so anyway, we have a lot of things to talk about what to do in that case. But the first thing is that vitamin C is so important.
Absolutely.
I think the best way to start today is talk about how to not get there. It's not that you don't detox. Detox is still important, but
Yes, it is.
it's the same thought process for anybody who is wanting to boost their immune system. So, what are some things, Wendy, that because I know you do a lot of herbal things to boost your immune system? What are some things you do?
Yeah, well, this time of year, I think I showed y'all on the second podcast the fire cider that I had started. So I normally always start that in August because it has to sit several weeks, and that is great immune booster because it's got the apple cider vinegar and it's got the horseradish and the honey and the all the spices and everything in there. I like that as an all-in-one kind of booster.
Yeah.
And then this time of year too, the elderberry syrup. That's going to be part of what I'll be working on next week is actually making the elderberry syrup. Because of that is because of the vitamin C in the elderberries.
Yeah.
And because it's high vitamin C. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it starts in the kitchen. What you eat matters. It will keep your immune system up if you're eating better.
Yeah.
But if you're also in the kitchen this time of year, I recommend just a little more garlic, a little more onion, a little more thyme, a little more sage, a little more cinnamon, honey. All those things have such great immune boosting properties that you can just add more of it to your stuff or make a tea, say sage tea with some cinnamon and a little lemon.
Oh,
it's
it is
great for kind of boosting you and helping you feel better, making you breathe better. Echinacea tea. I mean, it's wonderful. Kind of sweet.
Chamomile.
Yep, chamomile. Although I don't have a lot of that unless I'm getting ready. That makes me really sleepy.
Yeah, I'll take that at night. That'll be like my nighttime chill out.
Yeah,
not feeling well.
My favorite at night is chamomile and lavender.
That's what I was about to say. Got to throw the lavender in there too. I'll tell you what I do a lot with as far as teas go. A lot of people have heard me. I don't think I've talked about it on our podcast yet, but a lot of people have heard me talk about my detox drink that I recommend to everybody. I do this daily. It's very similar to the fire cider. It's got the same idea, but the fire cider has so much more in it than
because I do your detox drink every day too.
Yeah.
The fire cider is just an extra
shot.
Potent. Yes.
Yes. So with my detox drink every day, that just so you all know, if you ever want to do it, I take a good size, one of those stainless steel mugs, like 30 ounce. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And I will throw half of an organic lemon in the whole thing. If you can't find organic, I know right now, this time of year, it is difficult to find organic citrus because it's not in season in Florida right now. So if you can't find it, just squeeze the lemon juice into your cup. Don't throw the whole thing in because when they spray, all the chemicals stay in the peel. So you don't want to steep that. So you use that. And lemon is a big time antiviral. It's a wonderful way to get vitamin C. And when we're putting it in hot teas like this, it activates the vitamin C. It does more to activate the properties of the vitamin C. So a lot of people will ask me, can I do your detox drink cold? And I'm like, well, I mean, you can. But to get the benefit, you really want to drink it as a hot tea, or at least steep it hot and then, maybe drink it when it's a little cooler. But so there's the lemon, and then I put about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of ginger root. I don't even peel it. Drop it right in. I just cut it right off, drop it right in there. Sometimes I'll take my garlic press, just because I love the taste of ginger, and squeeze it just to get some of the juice out. Nice. And dump the whole thing in and let that steep. I use a stick of organic Ceylon cinnamon. I don't do the cassia anymore. If you have it, it's not a problem. It's just in high doses, cassia cinnamon and all the different types of cassia cinnamon, which you've probably heard of a million of them, Saigon, and I mean, just about everyone with some weird name falls under the cassia. So you want the organic Ceylon. It
Ceylon.
it is not, and it's Ceylon. It's it doesn't have those same toxic properties. And I mean, even the cassia, you have to have a ridiculous amount for it ever to be toxic. But that's all I needed to hear to just say, okay, well, let's just switch to this one.
Right.
So,
If there's an option, why not choose the better
yeah,
option?
exactly. So I do a stick of Ceylon cinnamon. It is a wonderful antiviral.
Yes.
It is also wonderful for anti-inflammatory properties. So even if you're not sick, I mean, and you have any kind of inflammation, it really does a good job on inflammation. And then I also put 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw organic apple cider vinegar, the unfiltered with the mother. And no, not Bragg's. Everybody wants Bragg's.
Well, because they used to be good.
They did used to be good. Yeah, I don't want to knock them entirely. They used to be good. They have decreased their acidity. Of course, they're still charging you as much, if not more, but they've watered their product down. And I have only found, there may be others, but I've only found one company so far that has kept their acidity level at 6.2%. It's either 6.2 or 6.3, but anyway, at least 6%. Everybody else is cutting it down to 4.5 and 5. And that is Fairchild's. They are wonderful. I get them from Amazon. I'm hoping that I can get, I've already talked to our Sprouts manager. I had to be all over that already. Yeah. And I was like,
I'm not surprised.
Fairchild's, and I was telling them about it. And so who knows, maybe I'll help get them in Sprouts.
I'm really surprised that more people aren't complaining about Bragg's changing that, because I mean, even for canning, you have to have 5%.
Yeah. Well, they're still at 5. I think they're getting away with it because everybody else just about has changed. And White House, who was always the worst of them, has dropped to like 4.5. So, they can still say they're better.
Right.
And they are still technically organic and all this stuff, supposedly. But that, and I like getting a good amount, and all their bigger bottles are plastic. And I'm like, I can only imagine with the amount of effect that apple cider vinegar has on our bodies. What does it do into that plastic? It's got to be breaking it down. And they, they put them in that big old jug.
And so that reminds me of you telling about the olive oil, how long it sits. So how long does that vinegar sit before we actually get it?
In the plastic.
Ugh. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. So, but the apple cider vinegar, y'all, we could do a whole podcast, Wendy and I, on just the benefits of raw organic apple cider vinegar. It is so incredible.
And we can teach you how to make your own.
Yes, we've done that too. But it's an antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. It balances your pH, helps the alkalinity in your body. Your body cannot survive, your body can survive. Disease cannot survive in your body in an acidic environment. And most of the way that people eat in this country is extremely acidic. So this actually will help to neutralize that and help to balance. It doesn't help to neutralize the standard American diet, y'all. No. It does not. So you can't go out and eat a bunch of junk and think you're just going to have a little bit of apple cider vinegar and be just fine. That is not how it works.
No.
But it's a wonderful complement to it. And so I encourage people to do this. Look at me bouncing all around. So you put all this in your cup. You do your one. I'm going to recap. Half a lemon, half an inch to an inch of the ginger root, the Ceylon cinnamon stick, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of the raw organic apple cider vinegar. Fairchild's is awesome. You put all of that in your mug. If you can't tolerate that much vinegar at first, because I do understand it's an acquired taste, start with a teaspoon. Just do a little bit.
Get a bigger cup. Just get a bigger cup.
Get a bigger cup and water it down. I literally don't measure anymore. I'm just like, bloop.
That's what I do. Just
So you put all that in your mug, and then you bring it to the top with hot water, let it steep, and then that's my first 30 ounces of water every day.
I think it makes a great tea.
It does. And when you are, it helps immune boosting,
Yep.
but it also, when you are already like this, I start my day with it, but I also will finish my day with it with, because I have a 3-hour window or so after my last meal. So I might have a couple different hot teas just to,
Yep.
Enjoy sipping on in the evening. That's one of them when I'm not 100%. And it does so much to open me up, just to
Yep.
make me feel better, and get that healthy boost. I don't think I mentioned what the ginger root is for. That is for balancing the gut. That's for gut health. Ginger is fantastic for gut health. So anyway,
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, you could definitely even take that if you're not feeling good at night and add some of that sage and thyme and stuff like that too, because sage and thyme have all of the antiviral properties to them too.
yeah,
And make yourself some kind of tea. Figure out what you like, because I'm sure with the ginger and the cinnamon, anything that's earthy tasting
yeah,
is going to be overpowered by the lemon, the cinnamon, and the ginger. You know what I
absolutely,
mean? Because
absolutely.
I happen to like earthy teas, but I know everybody doesn't.
Right, right. No, you're exactly right. And one of the things with that tea too, it's evolved in my world. I don't want to confuse anybody, but if you're writing down, I just gave you the basics. I just
Right.
gave you, and that is all for the immune boosting. But
Yep.
like Wendy just said, there's so many things you can do different to it. In addition to it, one thing that
Yeah.
I do sometimes, or encourage my clients that have a lot of musculoskeletal inflammation, if they can find turmeric root, I have them add turmeric root and black peppercorn. The black peppercorn will help the
Activate.
turmeric to absorb. You don't want to use just turmeric. Yes, it's fine, but it
It
will
will work
absorb
by
as well.
itself, but it is like 20 times the potency if you add that pepper.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just throw a few peppercorns in there with the turmeric root, and that's really great for musculoskeletal inflammation. Tastes great in the
Yeah.
same tea. And then the other thing that I've been doing, I'm not doing it right now because I'm detoxing from even nightshades, like from anything with potential inflammatory properties. But Wendy and I've talked about this, the cayenne
Yeah.
extract,
Yes.
cayenne pepper extract. It doesn't take much, y'all, but it is a fantastic metabolism booster. Up until I started my detox, I was doing that in my detox tea, about
Well,
5 to 10 drops.
since we talked about that, I'm growing cayennes this year for the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
So after we had that conversation and my cayennes started turning, I am dehydrating those and
Okay.
freeze drying because I'm seeing which one is better for it. But I'm going to do that cayenne tincture
Nice.
because since we talked about that,
Yeah,
so I'm
I
like,
think it'll be
I'm
great.
excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I could feel the difference literally the first time that I took it. Just I
Nice.
could I it and I mean, several people that I've worked with that have tried it have been like, it's like I immediately felt lighter.
Yeah.
It was just, it's incredible how
Yeah.
it works on your
I
metabolism.
mean, if it will, I mean, it has potential to stop a heart attack,
Yeah,
you know?
it's powerful stuff. It's powerful stuff.
Yes, it is. It gets
So,
things moving. And that's with any spicy hot things.
yeah.
It really gets things moving in the body.
Yeah. Yeah. You also mentioned diet, and that to me, I'm always going to go back to this. I
Yes.
mean, nutraceutical healing is my love and my passion, and so I'm always going to start there. But when you are not feeling well, or let's just say, your kids are about to go to school and you're trying to really make sure that your immune system is up, we're going to give you a lot of ideas, but the foundation should be, you're going
Food.
to eat amazing. You're going to eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. You're going
Yep.
to minimize your sugar intake. Don't overdo the meats.
Drink your water.
Drink, oh my gosh, yes. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water, up to at least a gallon. I say that because if you're over 260 pounds, I'm not going to tell you to drink half your body weight in ounces. But if you're 260 or less, I always say drink half your body weight in ounces. Anything over 260, get a gallon in a day. That helps you flush toxins from your body, which is going to help boost your immune system and really help make sure that is not going
Things
to,
up.
yeah. Yeah. When you are not well, it is even more important. I know, y'all, I know the temptation is to go get comfort foods. Go, depending on if you are, sick with like a stomach virus versus, a head cold. But I know when you don't feel like doing anything and you want
You
to lay
don't
out
feel
on
like
the couch
cooking.
and you don't feel like cooking, what are you doing? You're ordering takeout, you're,
Yep.
grabbing a bag of chips, you're doing all this stuff, you're eating the comfort foods, or even, I hate to knock this because it can be done healthy, but what do people want to do? They want to go grab a thing of Campbell's soup and, grilled cheese sandwich. Two of my favorite things back in the day,
Yep,
was
mine
to do
too.
tomato soup and the grilled cheese sandwich, but you can do it healthier. But
Yep.
honestly, those things are the worst for your healing. You need to stick to the smoothies, the salads, having
A good broth.
a good broth. Yes, I have bone broth that I always have made, which we'll have to cover that one day, how we
Yes, we
keep
will.
our
I've got
homemade
some going
stock.
right now.
Yeah, because that's so wonderful to and saves you a ton of money to make your own.
And
We'll have to make that a topic.
it boosts your immune system
It
too.
does, it does. And especially if you do things like you can add kombu and sweet potato and things that are healing
Yep.
foods in them. Kombu being a sea vegetable that is so good for iodine content and immunity. So yeah, drinking your own bone broth and stuff like that. But you want to stick to avoiding sugar. Sugar's the worst thing when you're sick. Avoiding any kind of complex carbs, none of the bready stuff, none of that stuff. Really clean eating, y'all. Don't add more toxins to your body that is already fighting. That's the worst thing that you can do for it. I make, I told you I do a lot of salads. I do them anyway, but when I'm sick, I'm eating salads every day. All my dressings, where I do have a lot of other dressings I make, but all my dressings will have that apple cider vinegar base when I am not well, because it
Getting
just
that extra.
boosts. Yep. Yep.
My fire cider, all winter long, I'll use that as a salad dressing or a
Yep.
vegetable marinade.
Yes. It's the best.
Mhm.
I actually, I've been one of the healing foods I've been making is I've been putting turmeric on just about everything.
Right.
And I've been doing turmeric chicken to keep on hand for, me to just chop up in a salad or, just have with some, stir fry or something like that. And I've been doing an apple cider vinegar base
Nice.
in the turmeric chicken. It's
Nice.
delicious.
I bet that's good.
Yeah, it is.
I love vinegar.
I do too. I do too. Definitely. So what other things can you
Well,
in an active cold or active, because I
well,
know you've
we
been.
talked about that beautiful plant at your place, the mullein.
Yes.
That is really, really good in a tea form for like congestion.
Yeah.
Along with, you could add marshmallow. You can find marshmallow tea pretty much everywhere these days.
And marshmallow that she is talking about is not the white squishy things in
No,
a
not the
bag.
food. It's a flower.
Yes.
The flower and the roots of the marshmallow are kind of like they're coated. So it's like they'll coat the inside of things, and it like a sore throat. Sage is really good for a sore throat. Actually, that's going to be another one of my things I'm working on next week. I make a sore throat spray, and next week I'll be straining that and adding things to it, and we'll talk about that.
Cool.
But I would just start now, getting your things together, thinking about what you want, what you like, and make that start by making that detox drink of Wendy's every morning, and maybe in the evening too, if you start to feel something come on. I know when I start to feel a little stuffy or a scratchy throat, immediately I start with elderberry tincture. And
I
I'll
was about
do
to say, where is the elderberry talk? You have been immersed in
elderberry
elderberry.
tincture, and I also have a mixed elderberry echinacea, just depending on
Mm.
how I'm feeling. But if it's just the sniffles or something, I'll go right for the elderberry tincture, couple dropperfuls underneath my tongue during the day, and that usually is enough to knock it out. If I'm feeling really bad, I'm taking an Epsom salt bath and putting some of that stuff in my bath too.
Yes. And some lavender, just because you
Yes.
need that relaxation, and
Well, if
that
you're
would,
going to take a bath, you might as well relax as much as
yeah.
possible.
Yes, light the candles, turn on the
Yes.
soft music. Yes, absolutely.
But I can only drink so much tea per day, so I
Yeah,
really go to the tinctures sometimes
that's
when
smart.
I start, because between the firesider and all the water and the detox drink, some days I'm overflushed.
Yeah, 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 yeah. 100%. I'm with you. I'm with you. Something else that I do is I use our diffusers quite a bit.
Mm,
I diffuse essential oils um during, well, immune boosting, and when you have a cold or flu, it is so good to get that your air cleaned and everything.
disinfects.
Yeah, I mean, and they all have different things. You can also it do a deep inhalation, like boil
Yes.
some water and with like some peppermint oil and just really
Yes.
inhale, and that will help a lot. I'll do grapefruit sometimes, with
Yeah.
it because of the vitamin C, and it just, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it'll,
and you know what? You can do that with your herbs too.
yeah.
You can do the inhalation like, the old
Yep.
potpourri pots that we grew up with.
Yes.
You
Yes.
kinda do it like that and put that towel over there and just kinda soak up the steam.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
mullein's really good for that. The echinacea is really good for that.
Mhm.
Sage, thyme,
Mhm.
ginger.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the diffusers, I will tell you, you want to be real cautious if you have pets, because not all, it's really interesting because a lot of the ones that are very, very good for us when we are sick will make them very sick. They have enzymes in their liver
True.
that will not allow them to break down some of the herbal ones that we use. And I'll just tell you, I mean, just I've got a list here of some really good ones that I use. But if I'm sick and I'm running my diffuser, I'm there's only certain ones that I'll only use in my bedroom where I can shut the door off because I don't let the cats in the bedroom. They're in the rest of the house. So like in my office and the living room where I diffuse also, I will only this time of year I do the chamomile, rosemary, and lavender because those are fine for them. Chamomile's great for cold and flu symptoms, just period.
Yeah.
Rosemary is wonderful for cleaning air and surfaces.
Good
And
for your memory too.
yes, yes. And then lavender is just good for relaxing you when you just
Yes.
feel like junk.
Yes.
So those I will diffuse anywhere, whether the pets are there or not. But in my bedroom where they won't be, or if you don't have any pets, you can, do this certainly. But lemon is great for clearing your nasal passages. Peppermint is great for sinus infections and coughs.
Mhm.
Thyme is a wonderful antibacterial. Eucalyptus is great for fevers and antiviral properties.
Yep.
Tea tree is wonderful for antibacterial. Clove, both antiviral and antifungal. And cinnamon is also good for cleaning the air and surfaces. So I know that in my bedroom this last week, I've had the peppermint going all at once. I had peppermint, clove. What did I have in it? Peppermint, clove. I threw some sweet orange in it just for the clean,
I bet that smelled so good.
yes. And there was one more thing. Oh, and lavender. Yeah, I did peppermint, sweet orange, clove, and lavender, and it was wonderful. And I've slept so well. I haven't had that annoying cough in the middle of the night and stuff like that.
Nice.
It's just all really helped. Um,
Nice.
so anyway, great, great options for that too. Are there any other essential oils or anything? Do you use them in a way other than diffusing?
Um, well, actually, I use them in my cleaning products.
Yes.
You know, I use them in my soaps.
Yep.
Um, I use peppermint oil in my sore throat spray
Yes.
because it will give you that little tingle that
Mhm.
kind of it helps when your throat hurts, you know.
Yeah.
I did want to add too, Wendy, because I just thought about Bill and an interesting thing about elderberry and how much it boosts your immune system. It's not recommended for people with RA or lupus because of how much it stimulates the immune system.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That is
I
very,
thought that was interesting too. I wanted to mention that to you while we were talking.
yeah. No, that's good to know.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, most herbal things, um, not recommended for women who are breastfeeding
Sure.
ever or pregnant.
Sure.
That's always, I would say, talk to your doctor,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. We
But I
probably,
found that interesting, very interesting about the how much it stimulates the immune system that it's might not be good for people with RA or lupus.
yeah. Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah,
good to
so.
know.
But no, I love the essential oils um, for all kinds of things.
Mhm.
You know.
I'll tell you one I didn't mention, oregano oil. It's
Oh
fantastic.
yes,
When you are really, really sick, I don't usually pull it out because it's a pretty
it's very
it's
potent.
powerful. It's very potent, and my husband isn't the biggest fan of the smell when I'm diffusing it in the bedroom, but when one of us are really, really ill, that gets diffused because
Yeah,
that does a really good job of cleaning the air. It's very good as an antiviral and antibacterial.
that will disinfect your house.
Yes. Yes. The smell doesn't bother me. I don't mind it at
No.
all. I kind of like it, but it's powerful. It's
Yes,
powerful.
it
So,
is
but
very
yeah, that is another.
oregano is very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of those, though. I mean, we can do a whole multiple podcasts on essential oils because there's so many different things. Before you use any of them, research. There's some really good books. I'm trying to see. I mean, I've got so many essential oil things. I mean, even just like something like this, a pocket reference guide.
Right.
I mean, I've got probably a dozen books on essential oils from my schooling and just, my own personal interest. Get you a guide because they're all very different. Some of
They
them are
are.
ingestible. Some of them will kill you if you ingest them,
Yeah.
or make you very sick. Some of
And the funny thing about essential oils is that the herb ones, the herb oils, all the medicinal properties are pretty much the same,
yeah, that
whether
is
you're doing
true.
it as a tea or an oil.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter of make sure that just because you have heard that this one kind is really great for you, to fight the flu doesn't mean that it'll be great in your tea. You know what I
Right,
mean? It might not
right.
be
I
uh
don't like oregano tea.
no, I do not. I'm with you. I can cook with oregano all day long, but that
No,
just
my
oh
limit is the no tea.
yeah, yeah, that's strong stuff. That is strong stuff. And oregano is one of those things that are great for like skin infections, but you can't
Yes.
put it on full strength. You've got to
No.
do it with a carrier oil. There's a lot of things, lot that goes into essential oils that are
Yeah,
really
because 'cause it'll, like, burn you.
yeah, yeah. So just make sure you're aware of what you're doing when you get into the essential
Yes.
oils. They are so incredible and I love them. And I have a ridiculous amount of oils in my
Same.
bedroom. I mean, it's crazy. I look like a store clerk.
Frankincense seems to be my absolute favorite right now. I don't know.
Really?
Yes.
You know what I love is lemongrass. I just
Oh,
love that in cleaners. I put that in
nice.
as my fabric softener. I mean, it's just
Okay.
I
You know, I grew lemongrass this year. I haven't harvested it yet.
ooh, you might have to make your own.
That's
That
what
would
I'm
be
thinking. At least
awesome.
try it.
Yeah. Oh, it just smells so
I
good.
love lemongrass tea.
Yeah,
That's
I do
why I
too.
grew it.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I might have to play around with it a little bit.
yeah, yeah. That's like that and lang lang. I love that too. It's
Yes,
just
me
oh, that's
too.
so good. Lang lang's so great for sleep.
And patchouli. I'm just an old hippie at heart.
Yeah, same, same. So the other thing that I'm doing that is to me, what I call, besides the food and the water being so important, is the high dose vitamin C. There are a lot of studies out there, y'all. I wish you would research. Um, a lot of what we hear is that, oh, you don't need more than 1,000 milligrams a day. It's not important. I am telling you, deep dive into the research on high dose vitamin C. It will blow your mind. There are people that are stopping tumor growth with cancer. They've been working on cancer treatment with high dose vitamin C since the 70s or 80s. So they know that it is powerful stuff.
Yeah.
I had a professor. This is when I really started going down the high dose vitamin C train. I had a professor in one of my nutraceutical courses that was just so big on it. And he starts his kids at age 1. And he gives them 1,000 milligrams per how old they are every single day. So his 16-year-old is getting 16,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. His 1-year-old's getting 1,000 milligrams. And he said he has done this with all of his kids, and not one of them had a childhood illness. That
wow.
He said they would go to school, all the kids are sick, they would never get sick. Perfect attendance, all this stuff. He swears by it. So I'm really big on it. As a matter of fact, when I was taking that course was right around the time of COVID, and I was made aware from him of the doctors that were healing ICU COVID patients with IV high dose vitamin C. And guess what? Nobody was talking about it. It was crazy. So, I mean, like, they were doing like 90,000 milligrams, 90-gram infusions of high dose vitamin C, and they were getting them out of the ICU. It was amazing. So, what I do, I don't do 18,000 milligrams a day, because that's what he feels like. That's what he says. Once you're an adult, you don't continue to go up, with your age. But once you hit adulthood at 18, you stick to that throughout adulthood, the 18,000 milligrams. I've never done that much. I'm not opposed to it. I just have never done that much. I have found that I do very well, and I only do this during high viral seasons, and I should be doing it when I'm detoxing, as I now know.
Live and learn.
Yeah, but I will do, during high viral season, I will do 3,000 milligrams, 3 to 4,000 milligrams 3 times a day. And I personally love this. Let's see if I can show you. This one, it is a powdered vitamin C. It's GMO-free Vitamins Inc. They are based out of the UK. Let me tell you why I found them. Because it is a darn shame that we live in a country that I always have been the patriotic girl that has been like, oh, buy USA. Well, unfortunately, when you're buying USA vitamins, you're getting garbage a lot of times. Not everybody. I'm finding
it's sad. It's sad.
They are either using, which I did not realize, a lot of the vitamin C products made in the USA or that are harvested here are using genetically modified corn. So I started searching for a corn-free vitamin C. You'll be amazed how hard that is to find. You can find soy-free, you can find gluten-free. But
what's the name brand on that vitamin C?
This one is GMO-free Vitamins LLC. And it's interesting because they even write on their thing. Let's hear. It's manufactured in the UK, origin of ingredients in the UK, 100% pure ascorbic acid, highest purity, lowest metals, hypoallergenic. But they write on here, for 90% of the vitamin C on the market, made in only means repackaged Chinese powder. That was the other thing I was going to say, is that made in the USA doesn't mean a daggone thing. It means they've bought the cheapest vitamin C powder they can find, and they've put it in their little capsules in the USA. They don't care where it came from. So be very aware when you're getting any supplements, but vitamin C is a huge factor with this. being made in the USA, unfortunately, when it comes to supplements, doesn't mean jack anymore.
That's right.
So this one, I actually got this off of Amazon. I'm going to check directly on their website for the next time. This is my third or fourth tub of this. I love this stuff. I put this in my water.
Okay.
It is, because it's corn free and because it's powdered and going right in, dissolving right into the water, it's actually very highly absorbable. It's into your system.
Okay.
Very high potency. So I will do this with my first and my last water of the day, and one somewhere in the middle. Now,
now is that just a regular day when you're not feeling bad or anything like that?
If it's a high viral season, I don't do it all year. It's
Okay.
fine to. You can always, it won't hurt you. And I'll tell you some of the side effects if you were to get too much. But the this particular one, I've never had any problems with. Now, somebody with reflux, somebody that has a lot of GI discomfort might not do as well with the powdered. And each scoop of this one is 1,000 milligrams. So like,
okay,
I put 3 scoops in this. Sometimes I'll do 4 because it's, like 28, 32 ounces ish. But it's supposed to be a scoop every 8 ounces, every 8 to 10. So I did 3 scoops in that. So this was 3,000 milligrams.
Okay.
But it's when I'm actively sick, and like when Bill was not feeling well, because I really get on him because of his medical history. I get him to do, he won't do the powdered. So I had to get him a clean capsule that he would take. And he will do 3 of those, which is 4,800 milligrams every 3 hours. And he does very, very well. And that's when he's not well. When he is well, I'll get him to do that twice a day, and he's great. If it's a high viral season, if he's about to undergo some treatments, if he's going to be traveling, anything like that. A lot of times I'll do it when I'm traveling too. But anyway, it's wonderful. And the things to look for, my professor that I was talking about, he talks about doing vitamin C to bowel tolerance. If you ever hear that term, what they're talking about. Now, this particular professor recommended that when you're sick, you take 1,000 milligrams every 15 minutes until you end up with diarrhea.
Oh, wow.
I can tell you, I will never do that again. I did that to Bill one time, and Bill won't let me forget it.
Is that just to flush the system?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't recommend that. I appreciate why he said that, but that's because that's to really get a loading dose in your system when you're not well. Yeah, it works. But the thing is once you get to the point of diarrhea, you have taken too much.
Yeah.
Now, it won't hurt you. It is a water-soluble vitamin. Your body is simply just excreting what it doesn't need. However, imagine you're already not feeling well. And by the time you get to that point, you're probably 3 doses too late if you're taking it every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend that. I instead do the way I do with him. Every 3 hours, I have him take a good loading dose. Like I said, I had him doing the 4,800 milligrams because he had 1,600 milligram pills. I had him do 3 of them every 3 hours. He never had the GI symptoms. He never had any problems. And he got over his cold that he had 2 weeks ago in 2 days.
Nice.
I've never seen him as a former smoker do that.
Nice.
So it was really cool. It's powerful stuff.
It's amazing what simple things can do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, some people that's contraindicated. So I do want to say that if you are susceptible to kidney stones or if you have kidney failure, because it does excrete as an oxalate, which can be a cause of increased kidney stones and things like that. So you don't want to do it in that case. Kidney failure patients don't need anything that's affecting their kidneys anymore. No. They don't need the extra oxalates. If you have hemochromatosis, it can actually, which is a rare blood disorder, but these people already have iron levels that are too high. It can actually create
Mm.
it can overload the iron in their body and can
Oh,
be
wow.
detrimental to their health. So certainly, if you are listening to this podcast and you have hemochromatosis, don't do the high dose vitamins.
Right.
And then the only other thing that I'll bring up that I do take during high viral seasons is zinc picolinate. There's a lot of zinc products out there. Go with the picolinate. It is the most bioavailable to your body. It will absorb best. I usually will do 50 milligrams. You can do 30 milligrams. Don't do more than 50. You can get too much zinc, but 50 milligrams in the morning. Take your probiotics at night. That's a whole nother story. But the zinc can cause your probiotic to not work well. So take the zinc in the morning, take your probiotic at night, which is a good idea anyway when you're getting your digestive rest overnight, and then they won't counteract each other.
Nice.
So that's all my tidbits.
I think that's great.
So what else, girl? What's been going on this week with you?
Girl, I'm just trying to get everything ready. Oh, I the last podcast I said I was going to be working on soap.
Yes.
So here it is. This is the oatmeal coffee one.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna get hungry. I don't know how I feel about this.
Gonna want another cup of coffee, but we're overachievers, so we go big. Yes. So I also made hibiscus rose.
Ooh!
So they're done. They are now curing. They will be ready like November-ish.
Okay. How long do they have to cure?
A minimum of 4 weeks, but the longer that you let them cure, the longer they'll last underwater.
Nice. Okay.
So it's like, I'll probably let them go to, I don't know. Depends. I might, because I'm so anxious already to try them out.
Yes. What about your elderberry world? You've been like up to your
I had last week on Facebook, I went out there and cut the bushes because they were just bringing the trees down because they were just overweighting it. I went out and cut a whole bunch, filled up my wheelbarrow to overflowing, and posted it on Facebook and some neighborhood groups that I'm in, saying, please come get you some.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, and organic elderberries sell from anywhere from $18 to $35 a pound. So I thought it was a great deal just to come get you some.
I was about to say that was nice because my, Rachel Barton, yeah. She just bought some and she paid $35 a pound for them.
Organic elderberries are expensive. They are. So, people that wanted it knew the value, so they came right on by and got them. That's awesome. I have an empty wheelbarrow.
Hallelujah.
So next week I will be, everything is processed. Everything that I picked for myself is processed now. So next week will be elderberry syrup making and elderberry gummy making.
Awesome.
I will also be straining that fire cider.
Okay.
Because it's time for that. And that sore throat tincture is ready now. So I'll be straining that. And that is echinacea, marshmallow root, sage, and slippery elm. Ooh. So that's been sitting for about 3 months now.
Okay.
So that's going to turn into a sore throat spray by adding honey, distilled water, and peppermint oil.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't mention. We talked about garlic being a good immune booster. One thing I have been doing is the garlic and honey. I know we mentioned it last week, but since we're talking about, what to do with the viral season and everything.
Yeah, the garlic. Yeah, pop some garlic in this mason jar of honey and just let it sit.
Yeah, yeah.
And onions.
And we did that with onions too. Yeah,
the onions. If you cut up an onion and put it in honey, it will make its own like cough syrup.
It's wild.
It is amazing.
That shocked me because it doesn't fully liquefy, but it takes that honey and it makes it.
Yes.
I mean, it is. It's like a syrup, but the viscosity of it just totally changes. It's so wild.
I was amazed by that, and it works.
It does.
It coats the throat, and Stops the cough.
Yeah. But I've been when Bill and I were in our worst, every day, couple times a day, I would do it more than he would because I'd get the face from him.
Oh, the
But
garlic.
the garlic and honey, I'd walk up to him with a spoonful and I'm like, he's like, oh, you know, but
I like it.
I do too. It didn't bother me. But that is so good for fighting the viruses also. So
yeah, when you start doing that too much, you'll be able to start smelling it too through
yeah.
your pores.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I know we're almost out of time, but I got to tell you what I've been doing this week.
Okay.
It is pawpaw season on Massey Farm. Oh my word. Pawpaws are going crazy. So anybody who doesn't know what a pawpaw is, because a lot of people don't, you've heard the song Way Down Yonder in the Pawpaw Patch.
Pawpaw Patch.
Well, we are blessed to
Wendy has her own pawpaw patch.
It's huge, y'all. I was estimating, you could probably help me figure, because I was explaining to our friend Bill Swingle how it kind of curves in our woods.
Yes.
I have to say it's a good 150 feet.
Oh, easy.
By probably 20 feet deep.
Easy.
If not more.
Easy. I got so excited that year I saw them out there. I was like, oh my gosh. She's got a boatload of pawpaws out here.
Wendy and I one morning were out. This was what, 2 years ago. We were out shaking them trees,
shaking the trees,
and they were and doing this because
you got to cover your head because they'll come. The ripe ones will come falling down.
Yes, they will. But oh my gosh, so it's a lot of people call them Appalachian bananas because they're in the Appalachian region and from north to south. I mean, like all through. I always assumed it was a southern thing because I'd hear my granny talking about them and stuff. But I have friends in New York that have them, so it's all throughout Appalachia. But they are the way Bill and I describe them, and help me if you think different, Wendy. But we think they're like mango meets pear meets banana.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like a tropical.
It does.
But familiar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so yummy and
very good.
And they're very high in antioxidants. So when we first discovered them, one of our young friends, Megan, who she's vegan, and so she's always like looking for different things to, different fruits and stuff like that. She explores all this stuff. She was at our house one year and they were only coming in for about a 3-week window.
Yep.
And she happened to be here and she's like, I think those are pawpaws. And she took them down and she took some home and everything. And so, but it was the very next year. And I swear that God made sure that she found them for us because we needed to know this. The next year is when Bill got cancer. And I found out what high antioxidant fruits they were. So that's when I started saving them for his smoothies. And I was putting them in his smoothies like crazy when he had cancer. Nice. And I still do. But, oh my goodness. So I've been freezing the pulp and just decided this week, I'm like, there's got to be something more I can do with these than just making them for smoothies. Well, y'all, I decided to take my recipe of my sweetbread that a lot of time I'll do for my applesauce cake, or I'll do it for my banana bread. And I decided to take this one and do a pawpaw sweetbread. Yummy. It is out of this world, and I'm not eating any of it right now. So it's taking a lot of a lot of willpower to avoid it. I literally, just because I'm not going to serve something that is
that you haven't tasted before.
That I haven't tasted, because I don't want to hand somebody something and them go, what is this? So I got literally a 0.5 centimeter square of it, and that's all I've eaten because I was just like, all right, let me see what it's like. Oh my goodness. And judging by the way 2 loaves disappeared at our church picnic on Sunday in a hurry, and of course I do it gluten-free and completely clean and everything. And then I made 2 more loaves. I've had to beat Bill off of one of them that I'm saving for my Women's Warrior seminar this week, but he's eaten almost the whole other one. And I mean, it's very, very good. So That's been
Sounds delicious. I saw you posted the recipe, so I made sure I saved that.
Yeah, if any of you all follow me on Facebook, I put it in the Simplify Clean Eating group on Facebook, and you can use that same recipe, like I said, for applesauce bread or for banana bread. But that pawpaw bread is just out of this world. I'm not one to do spur of the moment shopping on larger items. But my girlfriend Janet Miller, if she may watch this, she sent me a reel of this lady, she had a hack to de-seed pawpaws. Well, let me tell y'all, that is not a fun job. It takes a lot.
Time consuming, they're slimy, and they're very sticky.
Yes, it is very difficult to de-seed, but very worth it because they taste so good. But she sent me this hack, and this woman used the Ninja food processor with the dough hook and spun it around, and it separated them. I bought the freaking food processor. We were driving to the NIH this morning. Bill had an appointment, and I just said, honey, do you mind if I buy a food processor? Because my old one's been dead for a while.
Right.
He was like, I mean, are you going to use it? And he goes, I figure you're going to use it. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to use it like crazy during pawpaw season, but I'm sure I'll use it a lot of other times. So I ordered it. It'll be here tomorrow, and it's going to help me separate out all these seeds.
I'm so excited about that because, yeah, I'm looking forward to us getting together and you sending me some of that so I can freeze dry it so we can find other ways to use pawpaw pulp.
Yes. That's going to be awesome.
That's nice.
Well,
and thank you, Janet, for the tip on the new tool.
No, Ninja needs to pay her a
commission. She needs to get a kickback.
Yeah, she's getting the word out. Or that woman that made the video. I hope she is. Anyway, well, we have hit our hour. Not that we have our rigid flexibility. We can go on as long as we want, but we don't want to.
It goes by so fast.
It does.
I do have one more thing that we'll talk about next week.
Okay.
But I'll give a little tease.
Show.
My sister Lori was kind enough to bring me a log that had turkey tail mushroom growing on it at her house.
So excited.
So I have harvested the turkey tail mushroom.
Oh,
isn't it pretty? It almost looks like a seashell.
It is.
So we can get into turkey tail mushroom and other mushrooms next week if y'all want.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great topic. Awesome. All right. Well,
fun.
Yes, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. We have covered a lot of stuff.
Yes,
we have a lot more. I have more things on my page that we had planned for. So I guess we'll just keep this thing going, girl.
That's what we'll do.
Yep. Next week we'll just keep tabling it. It's like, that's all right. We can talk about it later.
Unless something comes up between now and next time we record, we go live or record, whatever we're gonna do. But yeah, I'll just keep rolling with it and pick a topic. And if anybody has any suggestions or wants, let us know.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, boost that immune system. 'Tis the season.
Boost it up. All right. You guys have an amazing week. We will see you next Wednesday. Lots of love and good health. We love y'all.
Mwah.